Hi, good to see you all. Welcome. This is Yoga Daily. So please have fun. Don't be in pain. If you're new to yoga, just really take it easy. Practice regularly, and it takes time for the body and the mind to kind of connect to understand a lot of poses. So your focus as a beginner can be more on breathing fully. Um, So by that I mean often we breathe high up into the chest or the shoulders. So learning to draw air from the back of the nose deep down into the belly is really useful. If you need any equipment, so any blocks or blankets or a wall or a chair nearby for balance, please just have that near your mat, or don't be afraid to step off your mat and go and get that as and when you need. So these classes are really kindly put on by the Cambridge Biomedical Campus, and you can find the recording of the class uploaded onto their YouTube channel, so making sure that you Google Cambridge Biomedical Campus YouTube channel. You'll find all the previous classes as well. So let's get started today. We start and end with some breath work. So find yourself a comfortable seated position. Allow your palms to rest face down onto the knees with the elbows a tiny bit in towards your rib cage. So what this does is it encourages your chest to open and your spine to lengthen. And then close your eyes. Then you start to draw air lovingly from the back of the nose, following it deep down into the belly. And then exhale everything away. Continue with this cycle of breathing, just inhaling gently through the nose and then exhaling again. If for whatever reason you can't nasal breathe, then breathe however comes naturally to you. But please do everybody try to breathe in and out through their nose. It's much better for the entire body, but also the back of the neck is wider when you breathe through the nose rather than the mouth. So you get more oxygen as you practice. Again, if anything doesn't make sense today, just let it go and keep coming back, and it will gradually start to make more sense to you. So just carry on breathing, focusing your mind on the breath, on the cycles of inhaling and exhaling. As your body starts to settle down onto the mat, your energy levels start to neutralize. Have a check-in with yourself. So notice any areas of stiffness or tightness, or any areas where you have had injuries, whether they are old injuries or new. And breathe into those areas, really being mindful of your practice. Acknowledging any areas that are going to be more of a challenge for you, and not trying to be anybody else. So just accepting yourself for who you are today on the mat. You're not trying to change that, but trying to work with what you have. And the collective intention always for my classes are to challenge yourself, whether that's to push a more challenging practice or whether your challenge today is to back off. Challenge, we grow. But make sure that you have fun, make sure that you can smile, make sure you can breathe, and make sure you can move as we gently move through this lunchtime practice together. Now take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently flip open the eyes and raise up the chin. We're going to start with some easy seated stretches just to warm the body up. So from your seated position, bring your arms up, lengthening up through the sides of the body. Now you're going to lift up as you inhale, rotating belly, chest and face to your right, and then release the hand. So one hand is going to cup the knee and one hand is behind. Somebody's saying the sound isn't very good. So let me know if that's the same for anybody else. Sometimes it can be like that, other times it's just the individual's computer. So sorry, as I was saying, so arms up, rotate to your right and release. So you cut the front knee with the front hand and you support the spine with the other hand. So you're lengthening up through the spine and breathing at the same time. And then when you exhale, you do a tiny bend in this front elbow to rotate and keep yourself into the spinal twist. Chin lifts, soften the face. Let's hold here and take 3 big inhales and exhales. Learning how to go within, to feel and hear your breath. For 2. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, tiny amounts of twisting. And now let's do the other side. Inhale, both arms up. As you rotate belly, chest and face to the left, release the hands. Same thing, so cupping that front knee or front leg with the hand, bending the elbow a tiny bit, and the hand behind you is supporting the length of the spine. So we're not leaning into that back hand, we're just using it to keep the spine upright. Chin lifts, face softens, breathe for 3. See if you can make your breath loud enough for you to hear it in the ear as you exhale for 2. Last one here. And then bring both arms back up, inhale. And exhale, hand to heart center. Take your right leg and extend it out comfortably, left heel to groin. So again, allow the body to adjust if it needs to adjust. Bring both arms up. Inhale, rotate the belly over to the right, and so your belly button is looking over the knee. And then exhale, hands down. See if you can creep the hands forward until you find a point of challenge. And then pause. Again, holding and breathing for 3. We're just warming up, so take it easy. For 2. Really drawing air in from the back of the nose, deep down into the belly. It will inhale and lengthen the spine, and then exhale, you gently fold over this front thigh. Superb. Just walk the hand in towards the center. Use your right hand behind your right knee and draw that leg up. Other side. So right heel to groin, left leg extended this time. Arms up. Inhale, lift, rotate belly over towards your left knee, and exhale, hands to the floor. Starting to use your breath to flow. So inhale as you lengthen up. Exhale as you soften your belly down towards your thigh. 2 more. Last one. And then creep the hands back into center. Take hold of the left hand behind the left knee and bring both of the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Tiny kind of butterflying of the knees as you hold onto the hands. You can turn the soles of the feet slightly up if that's comfortable for you. And then creep your hands forward as you fold. Look down, keep the face soft, keep the focus on the breath, the sound of the breath, and the sensations of the breath for 3. Inhale for 2. One more. Really nice, full inhales and exhales, learning to increase the duration of your breath. And then hands back into center, draw both knees together and bring yourself to an all-4 position. If you need extra padding for your knees, grab a jumper or double up your mats. Make sure that your knees are not uncomfortable. Now spread the fingers wide and press the entire palm into the mat. So hands equal shoulders. Now we're going to run through a few rounds of cat-cow. tilting your tailbone really strongly, so your bum really strongly up to the ceiling. The belly will kind of hang down, and then lengthen the spine forward, lift the chin. Inhale. And now tuck your tailbone down. As you exhale, push the hand, head drops, belly hollow. So cat-cow. Inhale, lengthen forward the cow. And exhale, round down for cat. Really pushing the hands. We're warming up the shoulders and the back rib area. One more. Inhale, tailbone up. Chin forward as you open. And then chin down as you round down and close. From there, come to a neutral spine, tuck the toes, bring your bum back to the heel of the foot, and then press your fingertips and your toes and lift your hips, bringing yourself to down dog. From here, feel through your hands and your feet, finding a distance that makes sense. You can start to pedal out one heel and then the other. So waking up the backs of the legs. And then you can open up the sides of the body. So you twist one knee into center and look underneath the opposite underarm, back to your down dog, and then twist the right knee into center, looking underneath the opposite underarm. One more breath in down dog. Now gently look forward, bend the knees, step or jump yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, release the hands halfway. So halfway lifted, your belly and chest coming forward over the feet rather than back into the heel. Now bend your knees, rest your belly on your thigh and fold forward, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. From here, lift up the face and allow the arms to hang heavy. Keep looking down as you ragdoll yourself slowly up. When you're up, lift up the arms and spread the fingers as wide as they'll go. Now lift up the heels of the feet and soften the shoulders. To help yourself balance, find something to stare at. See if you can keep your eyes focused. Breathing here for 2. For 1. And then gently bringing the heels to the mat and releasing the hands to the heart center. Feet come together and then palms face forward, Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders up, back and down just to keep the heart center open. We're going to run through some sun salutations, then we're going to do some back warm-ups, and then we'll do some poses that you can hold for slightly longer. So bring your arms up as you inhale, look up, lengthen the sides of the body. And then using that breath, exhale, release and pull. Bringing yourself halfway up, either hands either side of the hips or maybe hands on shin or thigh. And then step or jump yourself to high plank. Knees down, keeping the body still. Bend the elbows only halfway down, chaturanga. Roll the shoulders gently, lifting up the heart center. Cobra. So always think about cobra as like a baby on the mat. You know, when babies are trying to learn to lift themselves up and crawl. What they're doing is strengthening the back and the core. So we're kind of mimicking that sort of primal movement. Tuck the toes, bum back, down dog. Breathe for 3. Tailbone up, hands strongly pressing into the mat. Head is released for 2. You can bend your knees as much as you need to in order to tilt your tailbone up. One more big breath in and out. And then gently look forward again as you bend your knees, step or jump to the front. Lengthen the spine forward, inhale, and then release the spine to the floor, exhale. Slowly inhale as you ragdoll yourself up. Lifting hands, spreading fingers, lifting heels. Shoulders soften, eyes soften. Take one big breath in and out. Let everything go. Heels down, hands to heart center, feet together. Tadasana. Tiny roll of the shoulders. One more sun salutation to warm the entire body up. Arms up, inhale, look up, lengthen. Hands down, exhale, release and fold. Halfway up, lengthen the spine forward. Step or jump high back. You can do chaturanga with knees up if you're really strong in your arms. If not, knees down. Lower down halfway, chaturanga, elbows in. Roll the shoulders, lengthen the spine to the top of the mat. Cobra. And then tuck the toes again as you strongly push back with the hands. Down dog. Breathe for 3. For 2. And on 1. Lift up the heels. And this time flow back forward to a high plank. Knees down, feet flat back, and lower yourself all the way down to your bed. Keep your hands either side of your shoulders. Spread the fingers, elbows in. You can rest the forehead, take a breath. And then inhale, lift up the face, elbows stay in. Gently roll the shoulders, press the hands, cobra, lift up. So back work is very hard to do. It's hard to warm the back up. It's even harder to strengthen it up. So we're just going to repeat a few moves. So as you lower gently down, focus on your elbows in towards the rib cage, not out towards the side. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Lower yourself down. On your next inhale, inhale, roll the shoulders, lift the face, lift the upper chest, lift the upper back, cobra. And then lower down again gently. Take a breath. This time lift up the face and lift your hands off the mat, elbows still in. See if you can inhale, lift just the upper chest, upper back, and then exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, release. One more, inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes, knees drag in a tiny bit, elbows in. Push yourself up. And then push back, downward. So often when we work the back, we start to feel the back, we start to panic. So please don't panic, just release out, doing a couple of twists through the hips, through the side body. Keep the face soft and a bit smiley, and then the body will relax. Good. One more breath in downward. Bring your right leg up. Sweep your right foot to the top of the mat. Keep your left heel lifted. Now bend your back knee and press your front heel to slowly come up. So I'm staying low in the hips. My back knee is bent. You can do tiny pulses, but try not to lean forward. Try and keep the body weight back. Spread the fingers. Soften the face. Again, it's a balanced pose, so find something to stare at. See if you can breathe. If the body's shaking, just take some nice big inhales and exhales. Now, if this is a challenge, stay here and continue breathing. If you want a stronger challenge, bring your arms to cactus alongside the shoulders. And then inhale, lift up belly, chest and face. So it's a tiny back bend. Face is soft, back knee is bent, fingers are spread. See if you can hold for 2. Don't worry if you can't do this. It's very advanced to look up and balance. For 1. Slowly look forward, arms back up to your high lunge, and then hands to the floor. This time lean into the hands and step back to downward. Breathe again, focus. Don't start thinking in yoga, always focus on your breath. So just keep the flow of the breath. And adjust my camera slightly. Cool. Do the other side when you're ready. And again, if you need to rest at any point, just rest and join back in. Don't worry if one side's been done and the other hasn't. As long as you turn up every class, you'll be okay. Left leg up, sweep left foot to the top of the mat. Bend that right knee, and then when you catch your breath, push the front heel, stay low in the hips and come up, high lunge the other side. Tiny pulses. Catch your breath as you soften the neck, spread the fingers, find that focal point. You want to learn to calm the nervous system. So really make your breath loud enough for you to hear it. So these nice flowing inhales and exhales. And again, those of you who want some more challenging pose, arms to cactus. Inhale, lift up and look up. Hold for 2. Spread the fingers for 1. Very slowly move your focal point back to center, arms back up, and hands to the floor again. As you lean forward, step strongly back to down dog. Now here, bring yourself to your knees. Take your knees as wide as the mat, big toes together, and then push yourself back to child's pose. Rest the forehead, close the eyes, breathe into the lower back for 3. Learning to go within for 2. One more full inhale and exhale. As you lift up your face and flick open the eyes, spread the fingers wide, look between the thumbs, and now softly hinge your body forward over the wrist as you tuck up your back toes. Lift the heart center, strong through the hands, look forward. And now as your toes are tucked, hinge your bum back to the heel of the foot. Push your fingertips and your toes to lift your hips back to down dog. Take a breath or so as you figure out your distance through your hands and your feet. Now bring your right leg up again. Inhale, sweep it to the top of the mat. Exhale. Bend your back knee, come up to high lunge. This time we're going to transition from high lunge to warrior 2. So pivot on your back toes, bring the heel to the mat, and then extend the arms. So if I talk you through warrior 2, it's heel to heel or heel to back arch. Gentle 90 on this front knee, so I'm figuring out my distance by gently pulsing. If I go too far, I come back. So warrior 2 is a really challenging pose. Looks quite easy, but when you've been breathing for a few breaths, you'll start to feel how strong it is. Keep the body upright from pelvic floor to core to shoulders. Arms extend and reach to opposite sides of the room. Let's hold here and breathe for 3. For 2. And then on one, straight to the front leg. Staying in line with that front leg, start to reach that right arm forward. When you can't go forward anymore, allow the hand to come to the floor, the shin or the thigh, and then allow the top hand to reach up towards the sky. So in Trikonasana tree pose, Trikonasana triangle pose, your back hip is open, your belly is open, your chest is open, and then the arm is either up or overhead. I prefer mine up. And I look forward in my yoga practice. I very rarely twist my neck, but it is personal preference. So you can either look up towards the thumb, or you can look forward, keeping your chin over your sternum, or maybe if it's a real struggle to hold, you can gently look down. 2 more inhales and exhales. So learning to enjoy the breath as the body is doing the really hard work. We're opening these areas and we're breathing into them to shift everything around and keep everything in motion. Bend that front knee and slide your hand up the shin and bring yourself back to your warrior two. I'm just going to pivot because I'm the wrong way. Now flip your back palm to face the ceiling and lift up your back heel. And then you're going to windmill this back arm up and release yourself, push to down dog. So it's a tiny bit tricky transition if you're not used to it, so just do your best. If it didn't work, just make your way to down dog and give yourself a little smile or a little laugh. Pedal out the heels and get ready for the other side. Doing really good, well done. Left leg up as you inhale, sweep it to the top of the mat, exhale. Bend that back knee, slowly come up. Straight away as you pivot from the toes, bring the heel to the mat and the arms extend back to your warrior two. Never be afraid to come out if it's too much and set yourself back up. So doing transitions can build strength, but it also can be quite hard if you're a beginner. Same thing. Activate pelvic floor by drawing up the muscles from the center of the groin to the tummy button. Then activate the core by pressing the tummy button gently to the spine, and then arms extend to opposite sides of the room. Let's hold for 3. Nice long inhales and exhales for 2. 1 more. Gently straighten that front leg, glide forward. Release the hand to floor, block, shin or thigh, top hand up. If you want to check whether your back hip is open, you can drop the top hand to your back hip. Gently guide it around, then slide your hand to your belly. Gently guide it around, same with the chest, and then arm goes back up. Trikonasana. Now let's breathe here for 3. Making that breath dramatic so you can hear it and feel it. For 2. And then do, for the last breath, do a really long inhale and exhale. We'll try and do it as tiny and as soft as you can. When you're ready, bend the front knee, slide the hand back up to warrior 2. Take a breath. Flip the back palm again, lift the back heel, arms up and over, press the hands and step back to down. Take a breath. Now walk your feet towards your hands. Have your feet hip width apart. And take hold of opposite elbow. If you can, bring your head towards your thighs and your hands behind your head. So you're holding opposite elbow. You're bending your knees as much as you need to rest your belly on the thigh. And then see if you can draw your elbows down gently towards the floor. So you lengthen the sides of the body. Just use that awareness and weight of your own hands, drawing the elbows down towards the floor as your weight shifts into the toe side of the foot. So the backs of the legs are really strongly opening here. Tell the belly to hang down, tell the spine to hang down. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Let's breathe here for 3. Notice how the body wants to lift up as it fills with air. For 2. 1 more full inhale and exhale. Release your hands from your elbows. If your eyes are closed, gently flip them open. Bend your knees, allow the arms to hang heavy. And again, very slowly, bring yourself up. Face and chin always come up last to avoid any dizziness. Should you ever feel dizzy, please lie flat on the floor. Spread the fingers, arms up, lift up the heels. Shoulders soften, face softens. Let's take 1 big inhale and exhale. And now heels to the mat. Hands to the heart center, feet together. Tadasana. Palms face forward, tiny roll of the shoulders. Lift up your right knee next. And see if you can open yourself out to a wide leg position, hands on hips. Now you want the outside of the feet to be parallel. And you want to be comfortable heel-toeing yourself to a narrower position, and to a wider position. So the reason I get my students to do this is because should you be upside down, like in the forward fold we're about to do, and start to panic about how to get out, you heel-toe yourself narrow and you gently ragdoll yourself up. So it's more so that the body can feel safe. So when the body knows how to come in and out, it relaxes and it tries to have a bit more fun. If it's scared, then everything clamps up. So that is why we have to keep the focus on this breath, so we don't hold the breath. From here, pause, hands on hips, inhale, lift up belly, chest and face, look up, and then exhale halfway. When you're halfway, if you feel any uncomfortable feeling of pulling in your knees, soften them a tiny bit, maybe adjust your distance, whether that's wider or narrower, and then pause when there's no feeling of pulling. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward, tuck your chin to your chest, and exhale, fold. Releasing hands to outer ankle or to the floor. Give yourself time when your head goes below your heart. So just breathe at first. You can rock from heel to big toe, just to keep that weight in the toe side eventually so that the spine can hang down. It's like a wide-legged down dog, really. And now we've been here for a few breaths. See if you can bend the elbows and maybe go slightly further down. You might be miles away from here. You might be really high up. So this is just in case you're somebody who can go lower. It's not a competition, by the way. Nothing happens when you get your head on the floor. It's just more consistency of practice. Good. Now everybody lift your face and chest and dome your fingertips in front of you. It doesn't matter how far in front. Lean into the fingertips and flip the heels of the foot in towards the body a tiny bit, so that you can press the entire sole of the foot into the mat. And if you can, arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer goddess. So this is a strong pose. See if you can lift up one heel, then put it down. Lift up the other heel, then put it down. Now press both heels, inhale, come up. Bend the knees, push the bum back and down, exhale, sit down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit down. Knees are always going out, never in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit down. This time, pause, take your right hand, press your knee away and twist. It's a strong pose, so if you can't do it, just do your best variation. Take one breath here, everyone. Let it go. Hands back to prayer, inhale. Come up. Exhale, sit down. Left hand presses left knee out, twist to the right, spread the fingers on both hands, inhale. Let it go, tiny smile on your face, this is a challenge. Inhale, hands back to prayer, come up. And last one, exhale, sit down. Very good, inhale, come up, extend the arms wide. Turn your toes to face the top of your mat. Take another breath. Flip the back palm, lift the back heel, arms up and over, press into the hands and step yourself back to down dog. Breathe and enjoy your down dog. The 3. The 2. And on one bend, both knees look forward, step or jump to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lift the face and slowly bring yourself back up. hands up, spread the fingers, heels up. Shoulders gently go down. Take a big breath in and out. Heels gently down, hands to the heart center, feet together. Tadasana, tiny roll of the shoulders. Shake it off. So we're going to do some standing balance poses. One thing I always say, if you struggle to balance, please don't just skip it out. So I'm going to start from complete can't balance to advanced can balance. It's the same thing with the eyes. So if you try and look at something or stare through a blank board, try and keep the eyes focused, and then the mind has to be focused on the breath. So option one is to take your big toe to the floor and the heel to the calf. Now this would be if you really can't balance at all, and what you would end up doing is seeing if you can lift up this leg, holding it and lowering it down if you can't hold it anymore. Okay? So that's for everybody who struggles. So like I said, try not to skip it out by giving all of your balance over to a chair or a wall. Option two, right knee up. Take hold of the right knee with the right hand and press the thigh in towards the belly. So you could just stay here, or if you've got good balance, you could take hold of the ankle, gently opening the hip, and you push the heel of the foot either on the top of the thigh or the calf, but never across that knee bone, so you don't want the heel pushing against the knee. So the heel of the foot pushes into the leg, not the toes, because if you press the toes too much, you're going to fall over. When you've got balance, left hand heart center, see if you can release your right hand to prayer. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, open to tree. See if you can breathe and hold the tree. So remember, trees don't have to be still. You can be moving your arms. You could be challenging yourself for a tiny side stretch. Or you can just learn to keep the eyes still and focused and enjoy the breath. Really breathe up, belly, chest and face. Two more if you're still balancing. You can smile. Last one. Slowly bring your hands to your hips. Now to come out, I often direct students to take their leg gently off, pause in the air, holding your own leg to center, pause again, and then leg down, release the palms forward, Tadasana, roll the shoulders, and then shake it off. Now the reason I do that with the legs is because should you be doing another pose where you hold the toe, and you suddenly lose your grip, you've learnt to build strength to hold your own leg up. It's so useful, I can't tell you. All of the strength building I do in my classes have prevented me from slipping over in the bath about 3 times and while dog walking. So it's very important that we don't just do passive yoga where it's all soft and collapsed and stretchy. Other side, hands on hips. Remember, option 1 for you might be here. Option 2 might be on the calf. Option 3 might be lifting up the leg, taking hold of the ankle and pushing the heel to the top half of the thigh near the groin. And you really push the heel, the leg will be pushing back. And that's what creates your stability and strength. Hands to heart center, focus the eyes. Inhale, hands up. Exhale to tree. So some of you may well be able to relax in tree pose, so you can literally just keep your eyes staring. Because the body can move, it's the eyes that need to stay still. If you're more advanced, see if you can squeeze both of your glute muscles on the bum. What happens is it will tilt your pelvis forward, and this leg will go a tiny bit further out and a tiny bit further down. Again, that's if you're slightly more advanced and have a strong balance practice. I've held you here for quite long because I love tree pose, so I hope you're still balancing. Let's hold again for a couple more breaths. Superb. Hands to prayer and then release hands to hips. Lift the leg off, leg to center, and then leg down. Tadasana. Shake it up. Superb work. Come to the top of the mat. Feet together, arms up. Inhale, look up, lengthen. And then hands down. Enjoy releasing and folding. Halfway lift up. And then step or jump to high plank. Knees down, chaturanga, elbows in, low plank. Roll the shoulders and enjoy lifting up upper chest, upper back. Up the toes, push back, downward. When you're ready, right leg up. Sweep right foot to the top of the mat. Left knee down, left foot flat back. So you have to press the back shin and back foot as well as the front heel. And then come up low lunge. So passive low lunge is this one. What's happening is it feels good, but what I'm really doing is putting about 10 stone of weight down into my hip joint. So I prefer active. So I bring my bum back over this back knee, tiny squeeze of the glute to tilt the pelvis. So you don't want an arched lower back. You want it to be lengthened. Soften the shoulders, spread the fingers, find that point to stare at, and breathe. Learning to really breathe deep down into the belly. I can't tell you the benefits to your entire body. For those of you who want to go slightly further in your low lunge, see if you can gently look up and press your hands together in prayer. For anyone who wants to add a tiny back bend, press the front foot, lift up belly, chest, and reach the hands a tiny bit back. But it shouldn't feel compressed. So if it does, lift up until there's a point where you can hold and breathe. 2 more. 1 more. Press the hands together to look forward, and then everybody release hands to prayer. Take a breath or so. So this is a challenge. I'm going from one pose to another. So if you need to rest, or you literally need to bring your knees back and sit down, please do whatever you need to do to make the practice make sense. Now, pressing the hands together, lift the elbows. Inhale, lift belly, chest and face to the right. Lean forward, put the tip of that elbow to the tip of the knee. Hands press. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, tuck the back toes and kind of float that back knee up. Pushing through the back heel, hold for 3. If you lift it up, it's too much, bring it back down. Maybe you bring it down and up. 2. It's a really strong pose, so tiny smile and 1 more big breath in and out. Back knee down, lift the elbow off the knee, rotate back to center. This time I want you to press the hands and release this knee to meet the other one and push back to child's pose. Rest the forehead, close the eyes, breathe into that right side of the body. Breathe into the right hip, the right side of the lower back, the right side of the belly. So you're sending all of your mindful breaths to the area that we've just worked on. Hips can often store lots of emotions. So sometimes the poses can make you feel certain ways after practicing. Please pay attention to how you feel after class. Not to change it, but just to get to know yourself. Let's do the other side. And then we'll be cooling down and you're done for the day. Very strong lunchtime practice, so well done for sticking with it. So lift up the face, hinge yourself slowly forward, tuck up the toes. Hinge yourself back and then push the hands, lift the hips downward. Big breath or so. Left leg up, inhale, sweep that left foot to the top of the mat, exhale, right knee down, right foot flat back, inhale, come up, low lunge. And again, if there's any pain on the back knee, get some padding, Settle into your low lunge. Spread the fingers, soften the eyes, soften the face, soften the neck. Breathe down into the belly. Take your time. Don't rush the practice. Stay here and enjoy breathing, or gently look up. Press the hands together. Again, you can stay here and enjoy lengthening the sides of the body. Or you can add a tiny back bend by pressing that front foot down and inhaling, lifting up belly, chest and face as the hands reach a tiny bit further back. Hold for 2 if you can. Breathe for 1. Press the hands together to gently look forward if you were looking up. And everybody release hands for prayer. Pressing the hands together, lift the corners of the elbows. Inhale, lift up the belly, rotate belly, chest and face, this time to the left. I forgot to say you could just stay here as option 1. Option 2 is actually hooking the elbows. So if you did option 2 rather than you prefer option 1, well done. And again, you can stay here and enjoy the spinal twist, or you can add balance by tucking up the back toes and slowly lifting up that back leg. Push through the back heel. Breathe for 3. Strong toe to knee for 2. Remember, it can go down and up if you need it to. 1 more. Gently bring the back knee to the mat. If it's lifted, lift up the elbow, rotate torso back to center and release the palms. Same thing, tucking up the back toes as you lean into the hands. Strong push. Back to down dog. And then gently come to your knees. Child pose. This time breathe into your left thigh. Breathing into the left hip strongly with a soft face. Learning to breathe lovingly. So some people breathe quite aggressively, and sometimes that's useful when you're in a challenging pose. But try and do both. So try and do a tiny soft breath and try and do a strong deep belly breath. Just so that you can have the option to switch when you need to, rather than just having one way of breathing. Two more full inhales and full exhales. Good. And then you can lift the face, spread the fingers, hinge forward, hinge back, lift up, downward. This time, just to add it in for fun, and if you can't do it, obviously just make your way to your bum. But if you can, bend the knees, look forward, and this time do a tiny bunny hop, cross the ankles, and sit down, bringing yourself to boat. So knees are bent, palms are forward. It's a strong pose. You're wanting your chest by your knees, just kind of lifting up the whole time. If you want to add a twist, take your left arm, cross it over the body, and twist. It's really hard, and we're about to finish the class, so I'm just adding it in for those of you who love a challenging practice. Arms back up, and you can twist the other side for a breath or so. Arms up. This time, see if you can bring your palms forward and lower down halfway to low boat. Strong squeeze up, high boat. I'm going to do one more, it's just to work the core. Again, if you can't do it, it literally makes no difference. Gently lower down, well it does, but not to overwhelm you in one class. As you lower down, rock side to side, soften the face, be grateful you've done the class, be grateful to yourself, to your body, for your time, your energy, your commitment. And then draw knees up, knees hip width apart, palms facing down. We're going to go up to a bridge. Flatten that lower part of the back onto the mat. Try not to hip thrust as you squeeze yourself gently up. Soften the face. So the active part is the glutes and the feet pressing into the mat. See if you can soften the face, soften the belly. Breathe for 2, for 1. Gently lower yourself down to the mat. Bring your knees to your chest, feet to the ceiling, arms up. Take hold of outer calf, outer ankle, or outer foot. Press the knees down towards the floor, either side of the torso. Happy baby. Tiny rock side to side, pressing your body weight across that middle part of the back that's quite stiff on most people. You're just using your own weight and awareness to release the fascia. To do the very lower part of the back, pause the rocking, bring the soles of the feet together, either press down the shin or interlace the hands over the feet and draw the heel of the foot to the groin. Now what this does is it shifts the weight to the very lower part of your back, the sacrum. And then again, gently pressing that body weight, rocking from hip to hip. Face is soft. If you're comfortable, eyes should always be closed if you're not balancing, so that you can bring your awareness back to the breath the entire time. So yoga is a moving meditation. And then you can pause the rocking, release the hands gently, lower down the feet, and set yourself up for Shavasana. Whether you take that with your legs extended, palms always face the ceiling, it's a receiving pose. Or you could have feet together, knees out to the side. Or you could have feet wide, knees touching. Choose which one you want by trying them out and seeing which one feels more comfortable today. And then when the body doesn't want to fidget or wriggle, you can close your eyes. As you start to bring softness to the face, soften your shoulders, soften the throat, and soften the jaw. If you have a gap between your teeth, remove the tongue from the back of the teeth or the roof of the mouth. As you broaden and soften the space between your eyebrows. So you want your face to be entirely blank, the jaw completely relaxed, the eyes gently rolling back, as we all go back to observing our breath, as the mind follows this rising and falling, hearing the inhaling and exhaling. Allow your mind to track the journey of your breath as it travels around your body, collecting everything it doesn't want and exhaling it away. Enjoy having to do nothing apart from breathe. And if you do find that your mind wanders or your eyes flicker, bring your palms face down onto your belly and keep breathing into the palms of the hands. I'll talk you around in a couple of minutes, so just enjoy. Start to take some deeper inhales into the side lips, feeling the expansiveness of your breath within, and then exhale everything away. Take another full inhale and full exhale. As you very slowly move the head from one side back to center and then over to the other side. Extend the fingers and wriggle the toes, and then bend your knees or draw your knees up and roll to your right hand side. Keep looking down as you make your way to any seated position of your choice, and then once you're seated, sit up tall. As you bring your hands to your heart center, close your eyes. Have that very subtle sensation of your tailbone drawing down towards the mat as the spine lifts up and lengthens. Gentle pressure between the palms, lift each corner of the elbow, and then allow your chin to just hang naturally towards your chest. Eyes are closed, but you're gazing towards your heart center as you send your breath up and down the spine. Very, very well done. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this lunchtime. It was a strong class, so I'm glad that you managed to stick with it the whole time. And like I said, thanks as well to the Cambridge Biomedical Campus who are providing these sessions, and we'll be uploading the recording of this class if you want to have another go at it or try things out. You can look at the old recordings. So that you will find those on Cambridge Biomedical Campus YouTube channel. See you in a couple of weeks. So these classes are every other Wednesday online. So please join me again. And if you would like to practice anything in particular, just let me know. Have a good rest of your week.